Hello everybody, SlimKirby here. Welcome back to more of the Spyro the Dragon playthrough, part of the Spyro Reignited trilogy. Last time we got introduced to the very basic plot of this game, and we basically cleaned out the Artisan homeworld, got all the gems, rescued all the dragons, and now we're going to continue on with the game. We're actually going to explore our first, I guess you could call these subworlds. They're subworlds within a world. I don't know, but we're basically going to take on probably two of these areas today. So first of all, let's go to Stone Hill. Also, you got a cute little load screen here where basically Spyro is flying to the next area. It does kind of lag a little bit, especially when the gems are counting down, but you can just kind of fly Spyro around. You can flap harder with the B button, blow fire, and you can also do the dodge roll too, which is kind of neat. Very, very cute load screen. This is definitely really cute. But I'll try to cut some of these down because it can take, you know, a little long sometimes. Especially if you're just, like, ready to play. But still, it's a very cute load screen. And honestly, even though it is kind of a long load time, it's a lot better than frickin' Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled. Where seriously, the load times for that game are absolutely ridiculous. I was blown away, like, because, you know, I want to say the Nitro Fueled actually came out before this game, if I'm you know, not mistaken, and you know, and I actually tried out Nitro Fueled before I played these games, so like I was very surprised, like after playing Nitro Fueled, oh my god, thank god the load times are not as bad as they are in Nitro Fueled. It was honestly a thank god. Seriously, some of those load times are really, really bad.
After you've freed all the dragons, pass through this fancy vortex thingamajigger. It'll take you back to the Artisan home. But first, let me tell you a story.
No thanks. See ya!
Oh god. All the, like, kind of older Elder Dragons, like the ones that are just, like, you know, elderly dragons, they always kind of have that, like, let me tell you a story, or, like, what was I doing again? Just kind of like the stereotypical kind of mindset of, like, an elderly person. Just something I've personally noticed. But yeah, that was the exit portal. Basically, much like Banjo-Kazooie, you just go there to return to the old world. But honestly, there's honestly a better way to transport yourself between worlds. If you go to the guidebook, you can actually just, like, select the world individually and go straight there. It's kind of a quick warp of sorts, which is honestly very, very nice, because from my understanding, again, keep in mind I haven't played the original game, so I don't know that for 100% certainty. But I think you had to actually, like, leave through, like, the exit portals and come back through the world if you wanted to go back to the beginning a lot faster of a certain world. So having, like, a quick warp like that is very, very nice. So we have our first different type of treasure chest here. These are, I guess they're steel treasure chests. In order to break these, you have to just charge into them like this. So that's how you open those. And got another Elder Dragon here, so let's go ahead and listen to their cutscene. Hey, it's Lindar. We saw him in the opening cutscene.
When you free a dragon or step on one of their platforms, you're saving your progress. That could be useful if you run into trouble. Not that you ever run into trouble, Spyro.
Lindar is a pretty cool-looking dragon. Very unique design, and he just looks really cool. He's also like a clockmaker, I think. If I'm remembering correctly. I think he had, like, clock-making tools on his person, or dragon person, whatever you want to call it. I don't know why I'm destroying these sheep. I don't need to. I'm pretty much full health right now. I'm just doing it because, I guess. Doing it because. So if we go ahead and look at this, Stone Hill has 200 gems we're collecting. There's 4 dragons yet again, and there's also a dragon egg, which we'll get into those shortly once we get to that point. But for now, we'll just go ahead and keep on doing our thing here. Destroying enemies, opening chests, collecting gems. Looking out for wizards. And see, there's honestly nothing, like, really too complicated about, like, destroying enemies in this game. It basically just comes down to some enemies it's better to use the flame attack on, other enemies are better to charge into. They honestly don't go too complicated with the gameplay here, and honestly I think that's fine. Because a large part of Spyro, honestly, seems to be just kind of, like, exploring the worlds and trying to find, like, all the different collectibles and stuff. And I feel like the developers really wanted to focus on that more as opposed to, like, you know, actual combat. And it's honestly kind of a good thing, because, as I said before, the combat can be a little, or not really combat, but just, like, the controls at times. Because a lot of it's, like, very movement-based, and, you know, you have the charge, for example. It can be a bit awkward to get, like, very fluid movement, and it takes a while to get things right. So as a result, I feel like, the developers were wanting to focus more just on the exploration aspect as opposed to, like, the technical skill aspect of the game. But there's honestly still, you know, a way where you can perfect that technical skill too, so, you know, it's not all for naught, I guess.
Spyro, my friend, how about a hint on gliding?
You bet.
For the longest glide, press the jump button at the top of your jump, and try pressing the action button to drop down mid-flight.
Okay, so a little tip on gliding there. So if you want to get the best of your glide, you want to press the jump button again when you're at the absolute peak of the jump. That will assure that you'll get the best distance with your glide. And honestly, that is very important, because just in what I've heard from a lot of people who have grown up with the original trilogy, they did make a lot of the jumps in this game actually a lot tighter than what they were in the original game. So there are some instances where maybe there's like a jump that, you know, you could easily make in the original game, but it's actually a little harder here. It doesn't bother me that much because obviously, again, I didn't grow up with the original games, but it is definitely something that you might have to get used to if you've, you know, played the original games before. So yeah, I saw that enemy over there. We'll deal with him in a moment. I want to make sure that I'm, you know, clearing out all this other stuff first. We'll get to that. We'll get to that little speedy enemy over there. Trust me. We'll get to him. We just have other things we need to do first. Other more important things. But honestly, like, just after a while, it's just a lot of fun to just kind of, like, dash across all these different environments. It's really cool. Really neat, and seriously, this game's an absolute blast. I've had so much fun playing this. I can't, like, state and overstate that enough because it's just been it's been fun, you know, falling in love with a new series. Okay, so I want to say we're about done collecting everything. Can we get up here? There are some instances where it's like you feel like you can get up to a certain point, but you just can't quite make it. It can be a little frustrating, but, you know, when that happens, just, you know, try to make your peace with the fact that you might not be able to actually get up there. So let's go ahead and find that enemy that we found earlier. These enemies are dragon egg thieves. They basically have the dragon eggs in this game. And they're very speedy, they'll run for a while, and you have to try to catch them. In some cases, you'll have to be, like, really quick, because they'll get to a point where they can escape, and you have to reset the cycle. This one, I believe, kind of goes on infinitely, just so you can, you know, get used to the, you know, system of trying to catch these guys. Which, in this case, you just want to start taking, like, turns a lot tighter than what he does. And you can also just, use your fire breath when you feel like you're close enough, and just snag the dragon egg like that. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. Notice this pink flower right here. Well, let's go ahead and go to our guidebook, look at our skill points. Hey, we have a skill point for Stone Hill. Burn the hidden pink tulip. Well, don't mind if I do. Skill point. Hooray. Okay, so we got that. We're still missing some stuff, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we're still missing about, like, 36 gems, and we're also missing another Elder Dragon, too. I have a pretty good idea of where that is, though. I think we need to kind of kind of look on the outskirts of this map a little bit to find it. Oh, I see some gems down there. I think that's where we're going. Indeed it is. So sometimes you have to kind of get a little creative with your exploration and just kind of look around a little bit, and you might be able to find what you're looking for. So in here we got a nice little treasure trove of gems. We also have a key, but you're probably wondering, where do we use this key? Also just going to make sure I got everything before I go back. So we did that. We'll ride this little wind current back up here. This is where the exit is, but we're not ready for the exit just yet. We need to find this well. And if we jump down here, hey, not only do we have a locked treasure chest, but we also have the final dragon as well. So I think we're right exactly where we need to be. So let's rescue the dragon first. We got Gavin. Ooh, he's a barista.
Watch the dragonfly, Spyro. His color indicates his power. When he eats butterflies, he stays strong. Like me.
Sure.
Seriously, there's just so many great dragons in this game. Those cutscenes are honestly a lot of fun sometimes. And we are missing some gems, which, it's a thing that happens in this game sometimes, where you feel pretty confident that you've explored the entire area, but there might be a couple of collectibles that just barely elude you. And as a result, you kind of have to retrace your steps and explore the area more thoroughly to find them. I feel like I missed probably a thing or two in this area. Either like around here or kind of on the top of the area. The outer wall, I guess you could say. So let me just kind of explore here really quick. If it gets to be too long, I'll probably just cut until I find it. Because I don't want to, you know, send you guys on a wild goose chase too. But one thing you should keep in mind for instances like this is, like, you know, obviously we're missing 4 gems, so we're probably going to find either, like, 4 single red gems, or we're going to find 2, I want to say they're green gems. Basically, there's different denominations of gems, and each account for different values. Maybe... I don't think I missed anything on the castle. I felt like I was pretty thorough with exploring this. It looks like I was. We're not going to find anything beyond here because invisible wall. Just thought I'd show that. Maybe there was like a platform I could have fallen to. Like something like that maybe, but I don't see anything on there, so it's not that. There might be other platforms like that though too, so I'm just kind of looking for what I'm missing. And yeah, like I said, this is something that will happen, especially if you're playing these games for the first time, because, you know, you're obviously not going to know where everything is, and sometimes there'll just be, like, either a gem or 2 that just kind of get away from you. Have I really gone a complete circle around this whole thing? It does not feel like I have done that, but here we are. Okay, well I'm going to go ahead and just cut here, and I'll come back to when I find the gems I'm looking for, so be right back, guys. Well, I found a single gem just in the middle of nowhere, but that just means I'm missing more. They are probably just around this top area. Oh wait, actually I see a green gem over here, and a red gem. Okay, we're good. So yeah, they just were in this top area. But yeah, there we go. That's all the gems in Stone Hill. So we're going to go ahead and leave this area now. I think the next area is actually smaller than this area, if anything. So it shouldn't take too long to do that area. Let me just find the exit portal. I believe it's over here. Me using the map to my advantage. This is not the exit portal, actually. actually here-ish. There we go. And we're returning home. So there we go. We fully 100% completed Stone Hill, and now we're going to be moving on to the next area. And honestly, the one thing I do really like about this game, and I'll go ahead and say this about this game compared to, you know, at least the second game, you don't have to backtrack ever in this game. Like, you can actually just go through the game at your own pace, collect 100% in every level as you go along. It's very, very convenient, and it's very, very nice that it allows you to do that. Because backtracking can definitely be a sore subject for a lot of people, admittedly. So it is kind of nice that you can just kind of get everything in one trip. And that's honestly one of the things I wish that the sequels would have actually done a little better job with. Given the backtracking isn't terrible, but still, like, it's just nice being able to do everything, and quite literally everything in one go. So let's go ahead and go to our next world here. We have the Dark Hollow. So this level is going to be a bit more dark and spooky than the first level, but that's okay. Again, this game does not scrimp in all the different types of environments and, you know, basic settings and, you know, world backdrops. It's really, really neat. But yeah, as you can see, I was actually getting some other collectibles there as I was destroying enemies. Once you've gotten a gem from an enemy, and you go back to that area later on, the enemies will respawn, but they won't drop gems anymore. They'll actually drop those little crystals, which, if you could see, like, there was like little crystals forming up around my life counter. And that's basically what those are. If you complete all the crystals, you'll actually get an extra life, and that's basically how that works. So here we have some enemies with shields. If an enemy has a shield of some kind, that's basically a cue that you need to use the charge as opposed to the flame breath, because they'll just use the shield to block your flame breath, so keep that in mind. Up here we have another locked chest, so we're going to need to find a key for that. That is okay. Those guys, they had shields, but they were wooden shields, so you didn't have to worry about those as much. And they're also pretty sluggish, so, you know, you can get them down to the flame breath easily. So we'll rescue that dragon in just a moment. Let's rescue Albon.
Oh, it's you. I wasn't sure if you'd escaped those annoying little creatures. Of course they wouldn't bother me, but here's a hint. Their metal armor is fireproof, but a charge attack will take care of them.
Well, dude, we kind of already figured that out, but I suppose if like a newer player was unsure of what to do and they just ignored those enemies for a while, they could probably use that tip. So, you know, we're not going to say that was useless, because it definitely wasn't. It basically tells you what you need to do in order to progress, which is nice. So I did take a hit right there. As you can see, Sparks is now blue, and now he's green, which means if we want to heal him, we're going to destroy these frogs and take their butterflies, so Sparks can become yellow again. I guess I must have killed 2 frogs right there, because he went from green to yellow pretty quickly. That is something that can happen if you, basically, if you destroy multiple, Sparks will immediately just get all of them and just go to whatever color he's supposed to be at that point, which is kind of nice. So before we continue, let's look at this world. Only 100 gems and only 3 dragons, so yeah, this level is significantly shorter than the last level we did. Also, yeah, you can light these campfires. Doesn't do anything, though. It's just there because why not? So we'll take you down, get some more gems. It's also kind of nice in this game, because at least from what I remember when I played through Spyro 2, is that as far as gem counts are concerned, they actually like showcase like the number of gems in that level and not overall, which the other games don't do that.
Big enemies like this Nork with the club cannot be charged. but a quick flame, that should defeat them.
Yeah, we figured that out too. But again, if younger kids are struggling, that's basically the tell. That is basically the tell. Okay, so now we need to go, I think, over here in this direction. Yo, there's a party going on in here. Okay. So I think for these enemies, let me wait till they're actually... Oh, I got them somehow. Okay, never mind. I think the trick, though, is you want to get them from behind. Because otherwise they're too defensive and you can't do anything about them. Yeah, I think that's what I did right there. We'll assume that's what I did. Okay, so... I want to say the key is in this room. Yep, there it is. So we'll use that key to open that chest. After we get all the gems in here, of course. Okay, that's the way out. What do we got here? We got Oswin from Fire Emblem, of course.
Psst. Spyro, wanna know a secret? Use the action button when you want to zoom in and look around.
Oh, your secret's safe with me.
Yeah, that's quite the secret. You can look in different directions. Oh, God. Again, this game's got a lot of silly, fun charm to it, and that's what I find really endearing about it in a lot of different respects. Oh yeah, there's stuff up there. Let me grab that. Like, again, you really have to be observant when you're playing this game, because sometimes you can miss something just out of the corner of your eye, and it can be really frustrating, especially once you think you finished the level, but then there's still lots of stuff around that you missed. Let me grab the chest over here before we go towards the exit again, because we could honestly be done by this point. Do I know that for 100% certainty? I do not, but only missing 10 gems, that could be a good guess, and there we go. Okay, this level is 100% completed, so with that, we have completed 2 worlds of the Artisan world today, so I think that's going to be a pretty nice stopping point. So let's go ahead and return home, and I'll start signing out in this video. So this has been SlimKirby. Thank you for watching, everybody. I'll see you guys next time when we do another Artisan world, and we might also do the boss as well. The boss is not just a boss fight, there's also a world behind it as well. But yeah, we should probably be able to do both of those things in the next video, so we'll go ahead and do that. But yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. I will see you guys next time. Later, folks.